Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the 11th installment of the Dark Lord of Memes podcast. And this is your host, with the most, Dark Lord Ainz. And like every episode, I'm joined with my lovely, beautiful, just audacious, ravenous, bodacious Albedo.
I feel so violated.
Dude, speaking of violated, in the anime I'm going to recommend, there are some scenes where women are getting visually violated by things. It does not look okay. But I'm recommending it. I'm going to recommend it nonetheless. But, so yeah, this episode actually is a remake because the actual episode got deleted, and so now we have to redo this. So this is the first time that we've had to actually reshoot an entire show. So welcome back for part 2. Yeah.
Fuck us, right?
Yeah. Good stuff. So, like every week, I'm going to be a shill and, promote what we have going on. So, if you don't already know, we have a meme page on the social medias called Facebook. And if you head over there, go and search for the Dark Lord of Memes. It's a great meme page. The content is fuego. The admins are amazing.
It's just us two now, right?
Yes, it is just us two. Yes.
He backed out?
Well, I just removed him because he never posted anything. Which, I don't even want to get into that guy because, But, anyways. Go like us on Facebook. I think we are at, 4,000 likes or something. 4,100, something like that. So go give us a like and go react to the content. We also have a YouTube page. Just type in Dark Lord of Memes podcast on YouTube, and you can listen to us on there. Go subscribe. And now, I will move on to the new top fan shoutouts, which I am not surprised anymore like I was on the first episode, but now I know. One of my close friends is in the top 7, which is pretty darn cool. Which shows, he shows love for the show and the page, and he thinks it's great. Which, that's all you can really ask for in life. So, let me pull it up. So, shouts out to DC Cross, Tadeo Torres, Bro Racer, Austin Arell, Zach Reyes, Rue Brazy, and Aaron Baker. Aaron Baker, thanks for being a top fan, my guy. He also has a podcast, which we do have to link up for our WrestleMania review episode. But yeah, The Bakery with Aaron Baker. Go show him some love as well. He's on all the platforms just like we are. We're on Google Play. We're on iTunes. We're on Spotify, YouTube. So you can find us on one of those. Or wherever you find podcasts through Google as well. So, if you don't know, there has been a 8th installment of the hit Netflix docuseries Tiger King. Now, if you don't know what Tiger King is, or if you're one of those people who are just, refusing to watch it for some reason, which I don't know why you refuse to watch this, because it's the greatest thing since sliced bread, in my opinion. It's the greatest thing going right now. I mean, everyone's talking about it. They're already wanting a movie for it. I mean, it's just a great story. So, if you're one of those people out there just denying to watch it, just cave in and watch it. Join the rest of the world. I think everyone just needs to, fold to this thing and just watch it.
Yes.
It's worth it. Wouldn't you say it's worth it?
It is worth it.
I think it provided a great 7 hours of content that, I don't really regret. I enjoyed it.
I didn't know I needed it.
I didn't know I needed it either, and I'm glad I got it.
I didn't know how wild Oklahoma got.
And it just came out of nowhere. Like, I know Oklahoma's a very red state, and him, being gay in a very red state is, crazy, especially owning all these tigers. Like, what? But one thing I did learn from the 8th installment that I thought was very interesting.
His son.
Do we want to do that wasn't actually covered. I'm surprised they didn't point on that, but like they didn't do it in the 8th episode. They didn't bring it up, which I'm surprised. But no, that apparently he was like afraid of the tigers. Like, he was deathly afraid of them. I forget who revealed that fact. I forget which character it was.
It was the guy that did the recording.
Oh, the guy that went to Norway?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, so he moved to Norway. I forget that guy's name, but yeah, he moved all the way to freaking Norway, got married and stuff. Like, literally changed his life. But I guess he's like a star over there, which is crazy. Well, not crazy, because, it's quite a ridiculous story. But
I think that's the least craziest part.
Yeah, and that's saying something. So, it wasn't like as entertaining as the previous 7 episodes. By any means necessary. Let's make that clear. They got Joel McHale to host it, which, I don't think he really added anything to it.
True.
I didn't find him very entertaining. He tried. You could tell he tried, I guess.
But did he succeed?
And here's the thing. Like, I don't want to turn this to, like, the Joel McHale, hate club, but, like, I was just like, they got this. Like, I don't think they're the same level. Like, I think Tiger King deserved a bigger host.
Jack Black.
Oh, if you get Jack Black hosting that, dude, what?
Jack Black, final answer.
That thing would be amazing. I just think he'd provide so much more comedy to the whole situation.
Agreed.
But Joel McHale, I don't even know who that is. I've seen his face.
Same.
But where? But what?
Is that mean? I'm sorry.
I love that you get it, though. That's the thing.
We're on that same wavelength, I swear.
Yes.
Get out of my head.
We do that all the time. I don't understand. Do we want to talk about that thing that happened yesterday? Where we, both played the video at the exact same time, randomly? That was crazy, dude. I wish we had, video proof, guys. Okay, so... So, I was talking about... Doja Cat, right? And I was like, babe, did you see this video that I shared? She was like, what? I was like, the video where she's covering the Japanese cover of her song Say So. And you were like, yeah. And for some reason, I don't know, we just both looked for it. We played and we were here. And it played at the exact same time.
Dude, you couldn't even hear an echo or anything. It was playing in harmony.
It was in perfect harmony. It was one sound.
Exactly.
I was like, what is happening? This is not us making this up or anything. This is real shit that happened. We just link up like this. It's crazy.
Get out of my head.
I don't know how we're gonna beat that one. We were just here. Played it at the exact same time. Insane. So yeah, what did you think about the 8th episode? Obviously, I said, basically, Joel McHale, I'm pretty mad was who they did for the host. I think Jack Black would have been amazing. I think Jack Black would have did it, obviously. I think they're at the same level. Tiger King's all the way up here, and I'm probably going to put Joel McHale,
Definitely.
The gap is just too large, for it to...
Yep, I agree, but I thought it was pretty cool.
We did learn stuff.
I'm glad that they kind of touched on the subject that they made Joe's ex-husband kind of looked like a meth head, like to the extreme. Like,
Are you talking
said,
about
like,
was that Dylan? What was his name?
No.
Who was that?
I can't remember.
Wasn't it Dylan?
Was it?
The guy who got the new teeth?
Yeah.
I think that was his name.
Well, yeah, the guy that got his new teeth, like, got his entire tattooed cover up.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, everyone's bashed my artist, but they haven't seen the finished product yet. And I'm over here like, well, why are you wearing a shirt in this interview? This is the first time where you're ever seen with this shirt on. But he definitely had, like, the most noticeable change.
Yeah, he did. Like the teeth, he looked like a different person. I was like,
yeah,
who is
he
this?
just, like, you look at him, he's got a beard, he's got a hat, he's got glasses. And it's
Oh, I'm sorry. I said Dylan. I was thinking Dylan Passage. That's his current husband who's like waiting for him.
Yeah.
But the former husband, I forget what his name is.
I think it's like Josh or something.
Husband. I just typed in Tiger King husbands. So I know Travis Maldonado and Dylan Passage, but why do I forget this guy's name? Just not very memorable, I guess. Oh, John Finley.
John.
I forget his name. John Finley. Yeah. So John Finley, like, he got his teeth fixed and he looked completely different.
And then that one guy that saw, like, Travis shoot himself, like, when he talked about that.
Yeah, he said he needed
counseling and medications after that.
Yeah, he said he definitely thinks he needed it. He said he was all for holistic practices, but he thinks he definitely needs that. And he said that, I think he asked the question, did Joe ever seek counseling after Travis passed away? And he said he spoke to a shaman once, and he was like, he think that made it even worse. So, because I mean, the thing that really kind of pissed me off was that the fact that, and I don't know if people will have a different opinion on me on this. Maybe some will, but the fact that he found another person like a month later, like, and then got married like so much quick, like, you know, so soon and shit with like another person.
And just invited Travis's mom to the wedding.
And then like no, and yeah, and then invited her to a wedding, which wasn't a wedding. It was just for them to take a picture so that they could post on social media saying that Travis's mom said it was cool for them to you know, move on or whatever. And then they like never sent her anything, like never followed up.
Yeah, that's shitty.
I'm like, I don't care. Like, Joe's really shitty for that.
I think,
in my opinion,
I think Joe, Carol, and then Doc, I think, is the white-haired dude that also owns the sanctuary. That
Doc.
Like calling like Lord and stuff.
Yeah, I think that's Doc.
I genuinely think all three of them deserve to be locked up.
Yeah.
For some of them having the same reasons, others of them just being fucking creeps. They all have their reasons why they should be put behind bars, especially the treatment of those animals.
Just like the fact that like the way Doc lives, the way he lives as well, is kind of disconcerting to me. I don't know.
Yeah, like
doesn't he have like 6 wives?
Yeah, and like that girl was talking about how she used to be like a part of that cult or whatever.
Yeah, she like left.
And yeah, it was crazy.
You know, another thing that I had learned, I think, during the series, but they brought up again in the 8th episode, was how he would just kill. Like,
oh yeah.
He would just kill tigers like it was nothing. And like I think they showed it. I mean, you find that out in the documentary. Like, I think they show it. But I mean, he was like, I guess it makes sense when they said like, because he was really like afraid of them. Because they said like a picture that he used for like something. The guy who moved to Norway, I forget his name, but he said that Joe was taking pictures with them. With one of them was blind, and the other one was on tranquilizers.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? On tranquilizers? Multiple?
That whole thing is just so crazy.
And then the fact that, like, you know, Saf is just like, I can't believe she's just like cool. He. And the thing is, like, he didn't think that was a problem when, you know, he heard it.
It still should be respectful.
I know. But I just thought that was interesting that he wasn't, like, too bothered by it. But I don't know why I keep saying that on accident. But, his story is just, like, the craziest of them all. And I just think, like, his reaction to it is just, like, I feel like it should be, like, greater than it is. Like, you have your arm ripped off, dude. Your arm. By a tiger. Like, you saw, I know he said it was only, you know, 10 or 20 seconds, but the fact that
yeah, his arm just got fucking blown off by like a 600-pound cat.
Like, dude, write a book. Like, write a book.
Imagine how many women he can pick up, bro.
Like, why is he so okay with just like not capitalizing on this? Like, babe, I would be all about it.
Babe, he's getting 2 types of...
Oh my god!
2 types of cat.
Dang, he getting a kitty. Dang, dude, I would be all about... Do you understand, like... There are so many ways he can monetize this. It's not even funny. Like, I would just, like, I don't know. Like, I just feel like maybe he just, like, wants to have, like, a simple life. I guess there is, like, that side, like, just not wanting to be about that. Because, I mean, it does. It may be cool to be, like, famous and rich and stuff, but is it worth your mental state? That's for some people. So... If that's the, you know, the risk, I definitely, you know, take care of your mental health. But, man, Saf, my man, dude, you could be, I don't know, you could be living like a Tiger King. And what else? Who else was really? I wish they would have had Carol Baskin on there. She wasn't on the 8th episode, but I guess, you know, they probably would have just been like, "Did you kill your husband?" At least that's what I would have asked.
Me too.
Like, just tell it. Like, I just want you to tell us how you did it. Was it the oil? Was it the sardine oil? No, I don't know. I just wish she would have been on there. I think that would have been entertaining. I'm trying to think, did they miss anyone else? I think they pretty much got everyone. Jeff Lowe was on there and his wife.
He's such a creep.
He is the biggest creep. Like, he's just like if you like Jeff Lowe, like, I did like the one question he asked when he was like, "So Jeff, how many affliction shirts do you have?" And he's like 60 or 70. I was like, bruh, that is way too many. Like, what is affliction? Like, I don't know. But, so yeah, Jeff Lowe's on there. He's a scumbag. But he's in, like, an open marriage, I guess. So, are they, like, screwing the nanny?
I think so. I don't know what to say about that.
Because, like, he said because they're going to be running the zoo and stuff, like, they're going to be very busy, like, they're going to need a nanny. So he was like, we can have a nanny, but I get to pick her out. And, like, they pick out this, like...
very, like, hot person.
Right, like, just super hot person. And... The marriage is open. It's wide open. So.
I mean, like, good for
So what
them,
is that?
But...
So like when you're wide open, does that does that mean I need to have like I need you to shed light on this. So does this mean like when you're in an open relationship or an open marriage, I should say, maybe it's different. An open marriage, or like can they individually have sex with whoever they want?
Yeah.
Oh, so it's not like they both have to. It's like they can like on their separate time too.
Oh, yeah. So like an open relationship usually is like you guys love each other and you guys come back to each other, but like you can just screw whoever you want. Like a poly relationship is like both of you guys, like all three of you guys have a mutual love for each other, and you don't have to have sex as a group. You can just do it like this chick, and then they do it, and then one of the girls and the guy like do it, or they all three can, you know?
Yeah. Very open. Yes. Okay, so open marriage. Jeff Lowe, Lauren Lowe. Good for them. So yeah, just wanted to touch on that. I just wanted to watch the 8th episode because I thought the series was awesome. So got to watch, whatever new content I can on it. If I can find out a little bit more of information, even if it's a little brief update, got to check in. So yeah, I wish the best to, I guess everyone on the show. Jeff Lowe, I think, will probably be arrested by the feds sooner or later.
Basically, fuck the feds.
That was a great line.
That's like my favorite line throughout that entire series.
Oh, and before we end this topic on Tiger King, Carol Baskin, you can kiss my black ass. So yeah, next topic.
Oh, goodness.
Anime recommendations. Go.
Okay, so I'm recommending Yuri on Ice.
Ooh.
Like, it goes against the normal norms of, masculinity being, like, football, contact sports, and stuff. Like, Yuri is a male. He does ice skating, and he basically loses, and he kind of just loses his like love of the sport a little bit. Like he loves it, but he's not loving it enough to like
pursue it anymore, really, or
to like push himself.
Right. Okay.
So he goes back home and he goes to the old ice rink that he used to skate at as a child, where two girls that are twins, they're young children, they take video and they post it all online, and it's him dancing like his mentor, Victor. Like someone that he looked up to and that he wanted to be just like. So he ends up getting contacted by Victor, and Victor ends up coming to his family's like bathhouse or whatever. And he's in the hot springs and stuff, and that's when Yuri meets
his idol.
Victor.
Yeah. And real quick side note. So you're doing a great job explaining this. I just wanted to reiterate, point out something. So like I was just thinking about like how great Victor is as a skater. And just imagining like, imagine being as great as him and then taking a break from the sport to create the next you.
Yes.
Like, wow. But continue. I'm sorry. I just thought that would be like who doing this.
Right? Like who's sacrificing their own career at someone else's. But he was originally mentoring Yuri Pletsky, the Russian boy.
Yeah, who's bitter, super bitter.
Dang, babe.
I mean, he is bitter, but like for a good reason.
Oh, I thought you said better, not bitter.
Oh no, I said bitter. Like he actually is bitter. He's bitter at Yuri.
Yeah, he is. He's a little bitter boy.
Yeah.
But Try saying that 10 times.
Right.
Little bitter boy, a little bitter boy.
You're gonna say something inappropriate, probably.
But no, like, I love it. It's a pretty good anime. Like, the art style is fantastic. Like,
agreed.
The animation when they're, like, dancing and stuff is flawless. Like, It's just such a good work of art.
Rate it.
9.
Dang. Without hesitation, a 9. Well,
I mean, we already did this beforehand.
Oh, yeah, we did. And you gave it a 9 then? Hell strong. So, yeah, definitely recommend Yuri on Ice. Not a must watch, but a really great watch. Trust me. Now, speaking of must watch, and if you have watched this anime, which I'm pretty sure if you have watched anime, you probably watched this one recently. If you've seen Demon Slayer, I need you to help me convince Albedo to watch it with me, because she is refusing. So here's the thing. So, I recommended it, and I just don't think she wants to watch it, guys. I need help. So get in the comments and help me out here. But she's doing her Jimmy rate.
Leave me alone.
I love that. But yeah, I'm not going to be recommending Demon Slayer. I'm going to be recommending Food Wars. Food Wars is a tremendous anime. It's beautiful. It's very unique. It's out of the ordinary. It's not your traditional shonen anime. I think it is opening the door for a new genre of anime that I think can prove to be very fruitful and very entertaining for the masses. Taking a culinary look into the side of Japan, which is very foreign to like Westerners, I would say, probably to more people like me. So it's nice to see like what they do over there, and it's just so beautiful, and I love every minute of it. So basically, the backstory for Food Wars is that the main protagonist, Soma Yukihira, and his father Yukihira, I forget his father's name, but he's Yukihira. That's what he's known as. And they own a family restaurant in Japan, and his father's world renowned for being one of the top chefs in the Japan industry, culinary industry, and he's like world renowned, right? So he's running this family restaurant with his son, and for no reason, not for no reason, but out of nowhere, he decides to just close down the restaurant. The dad leaves, and he sends his son Soma off to culinary school. But not just any culinary school. He sends him off to Totsuki Academy. Totsuki Academy is the top culinary school in the world. House of the Council of 10, which are the top 10 students in the class, like rank-wise. They are the top 10, and they are the highest governing body on the campus. They are right underneath the director. They even decisions made by the Council of 10 even outrank the teachers and the instructors there on campus. So they're literally the highest governing body on campus. So basically whatever they say goes. But that becomes a bigger part of the story the more you watch. So Soma, he joins, and basically so far he's, he's holding his own. He holds his own against the top-ranked culinary students in the world, and he's just literally been under the guidance of his father for 12 years. He's been cooking since he was 3 years old. He's 15, and he's been basically cooking his whole life. And to know that skill has translated to the top academy for culinary and the world is it says a lot about his dad right off the bat. And so he's hanging with like seniors and graduates, and he's just like a first year. So it's very good. You see bright things for Soma. I'm so excited to see how far he's going to go. I'm excited to see his journey. I know he's going to do big things. I'm very excited for Soma. And he's such a very like lovable character too. Like he's all about helping his friends. The episode I just watched where he literally put his academic career on the line for one of his friends. Like they were, cooking this dish for this professor. He passed and she didn't, and he was pissed off about it and like thought like the professor was overreacting, and the professor was like, no, she did it wrong, and he's like, no, you like got wrong produce, and they were like going back and forth. And then it went to a food war where like the graduate instructor went up against the girl who failed in Soma. He was like her sous chef. And it was pretty cool. The theatrics were great. And I won't like spoil how that all ended, but yeah, like he put his, career at the school on the line, to help his friend out. I just thought that was like very admirable. And like shows how far he's willing to go for, those close to him. So very good anime. And this, like I said, this is just, I'm only halfway probably through season 1. There's 5 seasons. But so far I'd give it an 8.5, solid 8.5. Definitely recommend it if you are looking for a good anime that's not about, the typical fighting, going on an adventure, stuff like that. So yeah, 2 great animes, an 8.5 and a 9. So that's pretty decent. And we already talked about Joe Exotic and the Tiger King review. So the next topic I will go into is my personal thoughts and Albedo's personal reactions to the recent Dark Side of the Ring documentary focused on the life and death of Chris Benoit, which was a 2-parter. So I think this is like a very interesting thing. I'm going to summarize as best as I can with all the knowledge that I have. So also want to give a quick shout out to my little cousin Keenan, who is also a big wrestling fan. And I wish one day I will like definitely want to take him to another wrestling show. So I'm holding myself to that. But yeah, so basically back to the Chris Benoit story. So the story of Chris Benoit and Nancy Benoit, formerly known as Nancy Sullivan, is very interesting. So basically before Chris Benoit blew up really in WWE and became like, he was a great wrestler in WCW, where he started off at. But he really blew up in the WWE just because, WWE eventually won the war and then, had a better product. So he got a good spotlight over there. But when he was in WCW, he was working with Kevin Sullivan, who was married to Nancy Sullivan. And, they were married and they were, working together. But for some reason, I don't know why, Kevin Sullivan decided to book an angle between him and Chris Benoit where Chris Benoit steals his wife. And, she begins like cheating on Kevin and, gets with Chris Benoit. And I don't think he meant for it to actually happen, but it did. So yeah, basically Chris Benoit stole his girl. And I feel like, and he was in the documentary too, and he didn't really seem bitter about it, but like, I wonder how bitter he probably ever got about that. Cause like, just imagine like being a wrestler and booking that and then like it actually happening. Like, I think that would probably like really suck. So I hope Kevin, I mean, it happened years ago. I'm sure he bounced back from it. But so basically, Nancy goes from Nancy Sullivan, becomes Nancy Benoit. They have kids, and life is good. Like everyone that knew Chris Benoit, and when I was growing up, watching wrestling, everyone thought Chris Benoit was awesome. Like he was such a stand-up guy. He never missed shows. He was always there. Like he was like the Iron Man, rarely missed shows. Like I feel like he probably never missed actually like being booked on a card. Right after his, best friend died, Eddie Guerrero, like the one he was like no one had ever seen Chris Benoit ever cry, and then he's like crying, and like everyone that he hugs, arms and stuff like that really broke him up. Like, he started working immediately after his best friend died. Like he didn't take any time off. He didn't like seek counseling for that. Like that all went unresolved, really. Just kind of like continued and festered probably for the next. Well, Eddie Guerrero died in October of 2005. So, and I think Chris Benoit died in June of 2007. So whatever that time frame is. I don't know why I know that. I think you can Google that. I think that's about it. I think he did die in October, November. But yeah, it's just like sad to see because, it just sucks to like have this idea of someone knowing that they're like just a stand-up guy. They're so good, like they're a human being, and then come to find out that person like would be led to somehow, murder his family and then kill himself is just like, what? You know what I mean?
It's just like, it's weird to find out that the human, like an average human, can do something like that.
Like, exactly. Like an actual human being is capable of that. And like, you thought they were just like fine.
You read about it on the news and stuff, but you don't know those people. You've like never seen those people before in your life, so it's not.
No, but it's not like it's not because yeah, that makes sense, but like it's just like the people that knew them the most also like are like thinking this too. Like we thought they were like the best people ever, and come to find out they like he killed his family and killed himself. Like it just like completely catches the world off guard. But like you said, I guess you never really truly know anyone. I guess I think that's the big takeaway that you can take away from all this is like, and I think this is true for everyone. Like everyone gets close to each other. Like everyone, whether you're best friends or you get married to someone and have kids and start a family, or you're just started off dating, or brother sister relationships, mother father. There's all type of different relationships out there. But I think it's also true to say that no matter how really close you get to someone, no one ever truly is going to entirely know you. I think like we'll never find that, and like I think like knowing that is kind of important too, to just like at least recognize. Oh snap. Keep talking real quick. I'm gonna go grab the charger.
I just think it's crazy that like you can look at someone and idolize someone for such a long time, and you can see like what kind of person they are on a television screen, and just for them to turn around and like murder their family and themselves, it's kind of crazy. Like you want to hope that person's an amazing person. You stand behind them, you rally behind them, and then when the day comes, like, you just can't believe it, and it hits so much harder, because even though we see that type of stuff on the television all the time, those are strangers. We don't know who they are. We don't really know them before their act of crime.
Right.
And so when stuff like this happens, like, you see that they're a good person, and for them to turn around and do that, and it's such a publicized case, like, it's adds a whole new level to it.
Yeah, and then they would, like, eventually go in further to the whole situation, like, I mean, because once something, like, of this magnitude happens, you got to figure out, like, why this happened, and then, they try to find all these, reasonings and purposes of what could have caused, what could have drove Chris Benoit to do this, and then they look into CTE eventually, once a wrestler comes out and basically has a theory that he believes is probably, like, multiple concussions had something to do with it, because he recounted a conversation he had with Chris Benoit where they were talking about concussions because, Chris knew he was working on that stuff. I forget who the wrestler was. I think it was something Nowitzki, like Chris. It might have been Chris Nowitzki or something. He was like he had like a very brief stint in WWE. It wasn't long at all. But I do remember him because I've watched wrestling for years, and I do remember his character. But he was like this guy from Harvard who was like, he played like a very smart, like arrogant, heel character. But he eventually did some research into CTE. And he recounted the conversation he had with Chris Benoit where he was like, he described like what concussions are. He was like, how many concussions do you think you've had? And he was like he lost count at that point. He was like, I think I've had like multiple like concussions. Especially, I undiagnosed as well. So he asked about concussions, and then he basically told Nowitzki, the other guy, he was like, I want you to call me tomorrow. And he was like, you want me to call you tomorrow, Chris? And he was like, yeah. And so like he was like, all right, I'll definitely give you a call. So the next day he called him, and I guess Chris answered the phone very agitated and like he was arguing with Nancy or someone in the background. And he was like, is this like a bad time? He was like, yeah, this is a bad time. Like, I'll call you back later. And he just like hung up. And I don't think he ever called him back. And I think he like regretted that he never had that conversation with Chris again about like, looking into, his brain. And yeah, because it looked like he was about to reach out for help with him. And then like it never came to fruition. It was too late, which is very unfortunate. So, I just thought that was important to kind of touch on. I thought it was like a very interesting topic. I really enjoyed the documentary. I definitely recommend it. I think it's free if you go to Vice TV's YouTube channel. I think they have it on there for free on YouTube, both parts. So definitely check it out. Very good watch, and it gets even more in depth. It goes more in depth with the Eddie Guerrero death and situation, which is very important in the whole situation. And then it sheds some more light on his relationship with his sons, his family, his wife Nancy, and everything. So definitely recommend it, especially if you're into wrestling. So I think that was okay. Alrighty, so we got through that, and now it is time for the main event topic. So, Albedo, what do you think about Femcels?
They don't exist. Dude, I've met some women that are literally god awful. They're ugly. They're like, oh my god, dude, they have the worst personalities. They have the worst hygiene. They have the worst diet.
Right.
Like, literally bottom feeders.
You've met these women.
I've met them.
Like you
yes.
like you know them.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll call this one Goblin. So Goblin She has more bodies than I do. Like, you probably can't even count them on your fingers and your toes.
Oh,
half of them are like dudes that are in relationships and stuff, or when she was in a relationship and she's dating like her first boyfriend again. So like they broke up a long time ago, then now they're back together. She moved in with him. He bought her a car, and she's still cheating on him. And I'm questioning how. You look like a goblin. How do you have, like, so many bodies?
Okay, listen to me, babe. So...
Femcels don't exist if someone that can get...
Yeah, I think what femcels are, and this has been theorized on the internet as well, I think femcels are actually incels posing as femcels. Like, I don't think they're actually, like, women. Like, just because from this story you've told me, like, if Goblin can get somebody, I think any woman could.
I think also I feel like there are some femcels because I've seen, like, kink pages on Facebook, alright? I've seen questionable people show up in my suggested friends list just because of, like, how dark into the internet I like to go, you know? Because you know some of the weird pages I follow.
Yes. So, you show me some weird stuff, man.
I just find humor in it. But
I look at it, I'm like, okay. Like, I get disturbed.
There are people that are male to female who are into, like, mask play, and they will wear suits. They wear, like, women's suits and stuff. And they're virgins. They identify as female, and they're virgins, and they're just like, yeah, so I feel like a lot of them do identify as female, but, like, circumstances are preventing them from getting action.
Interesting. So you do think femcels don't exist, though?
Overall, no. Not really, because I feel like anybody born with a hole between their legs can get anything to fill it.
Yeah.
Like, no matter what they look like. Because Goblin found multiple.
I love that it's Goblin. She's the Goblin. So here's the thing. So the reason I wanted to, like, I don't know, like, obviously topics like incels and femcels interest me so much that I like to, you know, do deep dives into it, go a little further. So, femcels. So, I love I think another piece of proof to prove that, you know, femcels don't exist. If you look on, like, YouTube and just pull up, like, a Tinder experiment video, you can just see the difference in responses from females to males on, like, just a normal dating app. So if you're not familiar with, like, what these Tinder experiments are, basically a person will set up, like, a Tinder profile for a guy who's, like, you know, a 10 out of 10. Like, the profile pictures, the guy's, like, ripped, he's shredded, has abs, like, you know, like a Chad to the extreme. Mega Chad, Giga Chad, maybe a Giga Tyrone or two.
Dude, why do meth heads show up in my
I don't know. That's creepy. They're both meth heads. Both those guys are meth heads. But anyways, back to the point. So yeah, they'll set up a profile for a guy like that, and then they'll make another profile with a girl that's like a 2, like a 2 on the 1 to 10 scale, like. She's got buck teeth, bad hygiene, probably, like, she has big boobs, but not because, like, it looks good because she's a big girl or something, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, acne on some of them. So not very visibly, you know, attractive for, like, a normal, average, I guess, person, I don't know. And they just, like, I think they have the accounts run for, you know, a set amount of time, probably like 72 hours, something like that. And they come back and look at the responses. And the responses for the girl outweighed the Giga Chad, by, like, 4 times, at least.
He was intimidated, like, walking up to, like, a 2 out of 10 girl. You know, who's gonna be like intimidated to like walk up to her?
Okay. So that's the thing. So you see, like, a 2 got like 4 times the response to like the Giga Chad, right? Now they do it where there's like a hot chick and a hot guy. They make it like the play field like even, and the girls is just like it's probably like incalculable. Like it's just like it's like so many times more than the Giga Chad. So it's just like they get like there's multiple experiments, like videos that you can pull up, and they'll prove that like the girls just get tons more action than like the guy ever would dream of.
That's true.
So like I'm just saying, like if the 2 was getting more than a Chad, that's just like, bro.
No one cares about men now.
No one cares about dudes. Like, I mean women have it so much easier, I think.
Women have also, like, learned their lesson about, like, really attractive hot guys.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they just, overall, they're always, like, douchebags and just kind of people that always seem like they're overcompensating and just people that are always, like...
I mean, yeah.
Just, you know, you don't want to mess with them because they're going to hurt you. So
Sure.
we just kind of steer away from that and just find someone that's like...
Yeah, it doesn't really matter. The thing is, I think that doesn't really... Looks don't matter as much for women as I think it does for men.
Yeah.
I think a lot of women can look past looks for, like, what matters than guys can. And that's just my opinion.
Well, I guess that should boost my confidence a bit. You only cared about my looks.
No. You liked anime, that's what I cared about.
It was a Naruto background.
Yeah, if you didn't have that background, we wouldn't be here. Oh, man.
Wow.
But, yeah, so I don't know, like, so here's the whole thing, like, incels are, they have like a, what is it, what do you call it? Like, I think they have like a stereotype that like all incels are, you know, school shooters or like people who would do like the Oklahoma City bombing or something like that. I don't know. But like, how do people view like femcels then? Is what I'm curious about. If like people think, do you think like the response is much more, what's the word? Much more empathetic than incels? Like, do you think people care more about femcels than incels?
Not exactly.
Like, do you care that there are like, you're a woman, do you care that there are women out there that aren't getting laid at all?
No, because it doesn't affect me.
True. I mean, it doesn't affect you, but like, it affects like a portion of womankind. Like, there's a portion of your kind that's not getting laid. Do you care about women in general, or do you just care about yourself?
I care about women in general, but like, I mean, it's not my responsibility for them to be laid.
True. Very true. So you take the standpoint that, like, I mean, there's just going to be incels, and they're just going to be femcels, and then they're going to die out.
Like, there's literally always ways that you can make yourself more appealing to people to be able to get
That's
laid.
what they said on the H3 podcast, too, which I, like, totally agree with, is, like...
Like, just shower.
Yeah.
You don't, like, go up a point.
Yeah, you'll probably go up, like, half a star on some people's radars, you know?
Like, stop drinking Mountain Dew and Cheetos and actually, like, eat legitimate food.
Very true. Don't go full force on the Cheetos.
I told you stop going full force.
Can we watch that again?
Airsoft Fatty. Or, like, the
Full
documentary
force.
about it.
Yeah, full force.
The documentary
Yeah.
iDubbbz made.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so good, man. I'm so glad you showed me that.
Can I just speak about something before we end this podcast?
Yeah, go ahead.
The Big Show.
Oh, yes, I'm so glad you brought it up.
I'm disappointed. I'm sad. I wanted to cry this, like, I couldn't make it two episodes in without just wanting to jump out the window.
My God. It is just like, garbage.
It's literally garbage. Good Luck Charlie with half the production value.
Half? That's generous. That is really generous, babe. Jeez.
At least Good Luck Charlie was entertaining somewhat.
No, I liked Good Luck Charlie, but like this show's just like
I want to kill myself because of it.
It doesn't make me like The Big Show.
Like, I love The Big Show. That's my favorite wrestler. I've always loved The Big Show. And, like,
he's so trash.
Let down.
What is he? Like, he's a dad. Like, he's just, like, a dad in this show. Like, it's bad. Like,
and, like, all the WWE references that they keep making is just, like, cheap grabs.
Yeah, and then, yeah, it really, like, they have, like, you see the product placement everywhere with, like, the toys and the belts, and then you see, like, a poster of him on SmackDown or something on the wall.
And, like Becky Lynch.
Yeah, I was thinking the Becky Lynch toy. I was just like, obviously they're probably funding some of the show. I don't know. Like, probably sponsoring it or something. But there's a lot of WWE in there.
And it just seems like they're either, one, mooching off the WWE fans, or two, they're just, like, trying to be kind of relevant. And
like, what's the point? Like, I mean, so, like, here's the thing. Like, we were talking about, like, debating if we wanted to even, like, finish this show to see if, like, if it even goes anywhere. But, like, I just want to know, like, I mean, we're not even 2 episodes in because you had to call it quits, like, 5 minutes into episode 2. You're like, can we just, you know what? Let's call it, let's give it a wrap. You know what? We tried, but we could be watching better content. Yeah, it was very bad. I'm really upset because I like The Big Show too. I've actually met The Big Show in person.
I know, I'm so pissed off at you for it.
Yeah, I know he doesn't remember me, but like I met him a while ago. It was a time I went to a wrestling show because like when I was a kid, I used to go to wrestling shows all the time. Like every time they came to Dayton, me, my mom, her friend, and her nephew, which was my friend too, Billy, we'd go to like the wrestling shows, and we had like, you know, this ritual, and they came like probably at least like 4 times a year. They came more frequently back in the day, but now they kind of just come to Dayton still, but more Columbus and Cleveland too, and Cincinnati. And sometimes even Youngstown. They'll go to Youngstown too, I've noticed. But yeah, we used to go there. Used to love them. So like we were sitting there, and during like a commercial break, we'd like go to like the bathroom or like the concession stand or whatever. So we both went to the concession stand to look at the merch because we usually did that. Get like a DVD or a shirt or something. That's how I grew my wrestling DVD collection a lot too. It was like I'd go there and like, oh, they have the new DVD, and I'd just buy it because there wasn't a network back then, so you had to like buy each individual pay-per-view like on DVD, which I did. Like I'd have like all of like 2006 and stuff, like, which is crazy how I used to watch. I spent so much money in DVDs. I'm just like thinking of how much money I spent in like wrestling DVDs, like I could have saved, because now I have the network. But oh well, don't have to buy them anymore. But yeah, we were going up to the concession stand, and for like some reason, like the oddest trio, like it was Big Show, Kane, and Scotty 2 Hotty. They were all like riding together in a car for some reason. Like they all like packing their luggage, and they were like all hopping. So they were like this nice car. It was like I think it might have been like a Mercedes or something, like an older Mercedes Benz. I think it was like a rent a car or something. But they were like all had their bags, and like they just like walked past us, and I was just like, as they walked past, I was like, oh my god. I was like saw them like get in their car and they drove off. It was so weird. It was the weirdest thing ever. Didn't say anything to him. I just like was in shock and all. I just wanted to admire him. Like,
I'm so jealous.
But at the time, it was probably like in 2006, 2007. So I was pretty young. So they were like huge to me. Even Scotty Too Hottie, and he's like a midget. But yeah.
You're so lucky.
That was a pretty cool story. I also, those are the only wrestlers I really met, except for, I think that's all I really met. I, like, saw, like, wrestlers backstage. Like, I didn't meet them, but, like, one time I was sitting at, like, an angle where, like, you're kind of behind the stage. You know how, like, the stage kind of starts right here and it kind of goes further back. And so, like, there's seats that are kind of, like, catty corner to that, like, in the top corner. And it was, like, really kind of bad to see the actual ring. But I was like, oh, that was kind of cool because you could, like, see, like, wrestlers, like, warming up and talking to each other in the back. And I was like, that's pretty cool. Like, you, like, see, like, The Miz and, like, I don't know, John Cena, like, talking, like, backstage, like, before a match. I was like, that's kind of weird. Like, what are they talking about? I just, like, wish I was a fly on the wall down there. But, yeah, the Big Show.
I'm so sad. I'm so upset. I'm heartbroken.
What? So, like, here's the thing. Do you want rate it right? What would you give it right now? Like, you watched one episode.
A 1. I don't expect it to be redeeming either.
A 1, like a 1. And, like, what's your like description? Like, what do you give it? Like, pretend you're a critic. 1, and then, like, what's your statement to roast it?
I gave it a 1 because it has my favorite wrestler. I hate the fucking youngest daughter. Like, she's so annoying. Like, what is wrong with her? Get her to a doctor. The middle child, oh my god, dude, I swear. She is, like, so overdramatic.
The cast is not likable.
And then the one from Minnesota, like, dude, she's got some, like, daddy issues. Big time. Like,
she has some, like, repressive daddy issues she doesn't want to face.
Yeah, like, and then the stepmom is, like,
she adds nothing to the show. Like, she's just there. Like, what does she do? She ruins
it even more. Like, this is the reason why so many men still think women need to be in the kitchen. Is because of women like her.
Yeah, it's
awful.
The youngest kid, like, I'm not gonna lie, every time I hear her voice I want to strangle her.
Yes.
I get not like it's not like I want to, but, like, I get a visual, like, image of me strangling her. Like, stop. She's so annoying.
Like, at least with Good Luck Charlie, the mom in that was hot. Okay.
Yeah, true.
Like, who wouldn't be?
True.
But, like, the Big Show, like, she's just. Everything about her just irks my very soul, and I just want to take screwdrivers to my eardrums.
I know. Like, the thing is, like, okay, so the only, I guess, redeemable thing about the show is the fact that if you like the Big Show, you get a show that the Big Show's in, right? So, like, you get a point for that. But aside from that, there's nothing additional. Like,
no.
The cast of the family doesn't add anything to the show.
Like, is that
they make the show worse.
Family? Is that his?
No, I think it's a casted family. I don't know.
It's even weirder.
Yeah, like, I thought it would be that's what I wanted it to be. I wanted it to be like a documentary, I think it would be more entertaining if it was like
his real family.
Yeah, like, you know what they do with Total Bellas and Total Divas and all that stuff. Like, I was like a reality. Do that with Big Show. That's what I thought it was going to be. Like, them, like, following his life, like, actually in real life, and, like, what he does and stuff. But I guess if he is retired, then, like, maybe he's not doing anything interesting. But I thought he'd still probably do, like, appearances and maybe make movies, and I don't know.
Well, now he's just making shitty kid TV shows.
Well, if they are, I think it is a casted family. But if it is, like, that just makes it even worse. Like, who does that? Like, I don't know.
It's like the Full House episode where they try to, like, follow Bob Sajak or whatever.
Oh, Bob Saget.
Bob Saget.
Bob Saget. I love that.
Bob Saget around, like, his house and everything.
Yeah.
And they get
into this episode. Like I said, make sure to go follow us. Make sure to go like us on Facebook. Dark Lord of Memes on Facebook and Dark Lord of Memes podcast on YouTube. You can also get us on Google Play, iTunes, Spotify, wherever you get podcasts, you can get us. This has been a wonderful episode 11, and we will see you guys next week.